Welcome to Serpent Visionary Oracle. What a fun video. This is a 5321 Dex hashtag. It's a VR to a very dear tarot sister here. If you've not known her channel, please check it out. All the info is below. These are the decks that will be spotlighted today. Some don't even have boxes anymore. But enjoy as I respond to the 5 inquiries below. So I'm going to be off camera today, spotlighting the inquiries, the decks. Thank you, Marine. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name right, sister, but she is at the Waves of Your Soul here on YouTube. Great channel, for real, straight up. She has amazing, unique decks out there. And this is a response to a tarot tag she created. So the first 5 decks that will be spotlighted are the 5 decks that really had me return back to tarot, but it really had me come to want to read the tarot, to have it as a lifestyle. This is what I solely do for a living. These are the 5 right here of the highest inspiration. So I'm not really a collector. I intend to use all my decks that I have. And if I don't, I pass them on. And there are some currently on the possible chopping block to give away. So I don't like collecting. I really love using all the decks that I have. So let's begin with deck number 1, which is the Cosmic Tribe. This is a 90s deck. A roommate of mine, there's no more box, by the way. It's long gone. This deck is, it's lasted through the years. So a roommate of mine had this deck and I fell in love with it. It's Thoth E, but I love the imagery. There's nudity, all shapes and sizes. This would be the equivalence of the Judgment card here. So I'll flip through it real quick. But you can see it's kind of Thothy. It's straight up, it's groovy, it's retro-y. Gotta love the full card here. This is always my go-to for couple readings. Well, anything. All the tarots for anything, but yeah, this is a little bit retro-y. I think the Wands is my favorite suit here. He's a hot dude. Yeah, so there's very hot dudes here. This is very trans or, you know, kind of draggy. This is 90s, remember? Let's see why the spotlight of this deck. So in this deck, let's see if I get to it. Hot Strength card. See what I mean? That's a lot of a good, I think a lot of different body imagery, different shapes and sizes. It's amazing. And the real freaking people. She kind of has my body, tight waist below. I'm very hippie and belly-ish. What I love this deck is there's 3 sets of lovers cards. And I haven't got to one of them yet. Jeez, I just did a reading for a couple. There's one. Okay, so here's my girl couple. And what makes them different is they have the same background, but they'll have a different angel imagery on top. And of course, one is woman, woman, one is man, man, and then man, woman. There's the, oh, I love these guys. He reminds me of Perry Farrell. This dude right here, where is he? This dude right here reminds me of a very young Perry Farrell. All right, so you get the vibe of this. This is Love the Devil. Here's the Cosmic Tribe. Okay, so you get the, I mean, it's going to be challenging to get this video not so long because I love to talk. And as you know, if you watch tarot videos, the readers are always saying, "Oh, I love it. I love it. This is the best. It's the imagery." Of course, or we wouldn't own them or be so inspired to talk about that. The next deck up, which is the box, is really huge, and I have it in a place where it won't get crazy thrown. It's actually, it's right here, actually. It's a really huge box. Okay, so the next up that had me come back to the tarot table was this David Bowie deck. David Bowie inspired deck. Wow, my words are a little twisted this morning. I'm doing this video pretty early for me. Okay, so it's a huge ass box. Beautiful guidebook. Haven't even looked at it. But this had me come back to the table. Very magical hangman. And if you all know me very personally, you know that the hangman is my card. I adore the hangman so much that he's tattooed on my arm. Love him. Okay, so we have the David card on top. Okay, so what had me come back? This deck is amazing. Let me show you a close-up of just at least this one image. Okay, there's so much hidden message and imagery here. Okay, so what I'm discovering as these little patterns right here, if you mirror them, they can spell words out in really weird fonts. And of course, David's imagery of all Davids as the alien type David is represented in the deck. But if you really look close, look at all the intricate details of this deck. Is mind-blowing to me. So it had me come back because the decks like this that have a lot going on in imagery like this. Oh, here it is. Speaking of, I'm going to see how I'm going to cover this one. And see how the top, it says awaken. Crazy, huh? And I could never figure out what this cat's falling out of nowhere, what that has to do with anything. But you know what? It makes sense to me. And look at the hidden image. See how you have to kind of come close up? Look at the cloud imagery right here. These deaths. This is one fucking wild deck. It is like I could stay all day looking here at this one card. You can see like the woman here. But if you just saw it like this, you can't catch it. You have to really look close. So this is one of the most yummiest of the lovers decks, but this is the Starman. And I've done a flip through of both of these decks so far. Yeah, I've done a flip through of the Cosmic Tribe. I've done a flip through on the channel here. A lot going on. Here's David in the background here. I personally like him as the devil, and he is the alien card here, which is the Hermit. So if you want to catch more of this imagery, look at my flip through, because that is the Starman Tarot. So I started tarot early. I was really into it in the 90s. This deck right here is the one that kept me reading. And these are the soul cards by Deborah Koff-Chapin. I have her flip throughs as well in my playlist, her website, all of that. Why I adore this deck. It has kept me on the reading table since this came out. I believe I got this deck in 97, and I was kind of tapped out, bored with tarot. So you got to understand something. There was the decks right now, are you freaking kidding me? There's decks for every fucking thing. There's like so many decks out there. I'm like mind blown. So back into the 80s and 90s, there wasn't that expansion yet. Okay. So I was kind of tapped out with the tarot decks I had. I went through several. I I had the Sacred Rose, I had the Thought deck. My first one was Hanson Roberts. I know, that's cute, huh? But I kind of got bored. I just didn't want a deck with meanings. I didn't want to know anything. I don't want a book. I just want a deck with pictures. Is there anything like that? And this woman comes to me and shows me this deck. Now, this is deck 1 and 2 combined. So you can tell by, this is the first soul cards. This is the second. This is the only difference is the backing. I just combined it as one deck for me. But if you're looking at this, right, I'm not kidding. For the longest time till, I would say, the 90s till 2021. That's a long ass time. This was the only 2 decks combined in one that I used. The only tarot deck I had other than this deck was the Calandra Tarot, because I needed a sex deck or some kind of sensuality or some kind of tarot. But that deck, which is my Calandra deck, is like, had it. I can't believe it still has a box. Like, check it out. It still has the box, but the cards are just, it's made it. Now these 2 decks as well made it with all my travels and all the mishaps and adventures I've had through my life. I read solely with this deck and the Calandra. And I always used to say, if you can read, you can read. I don't care how obscure a deck is, how crazy and weirdo or plain and blah. This is everything to me. So thank you, Deborah, for creating an amazing deck here. Another thing, she's the artist here as well. Not too many decks out there, unless they're indie, very, very rare, that the author is also the artist. She does online classes, and she teaches you how she created this medium of developing imagery through touch drawing. She's amazing. Deck number 4 on the block is Tarot Obscuro. Now, why this one would get me to the table is it's just that. It's obscure and it's unique. So is this for the 90s up there. I gotta say. There was no deck with transgender or gay couples or nudity done so well here. It's and the most shocking of the imageries are done well. So here's the Tarot Obscura. This is by Estela Viviera. So I love indie decks. I love art. I will always support the indie. All right. So far it's 1, 2, 3 indie, 4. There's going to be 4 indie decks here. I don't know about the Starman, if it was indie-ish first or what. The Cosmic Tribe is unique because, you know what, there wasn't too much options out there. But check the Tarot Obscura. So I love decks like this. I'm a horror movie fan. My favorite artist is H.R. Giger. I think this is fun. I've done a couple readings with this, sex readings with this, and it's spot on. Like any book, like any, it's just themey, right? Right? For those of you that are readers. Okay, so I adore this. It hit home. I don't know where I saw this on YouTube, or I don't know. Again, it came on my reel somewhere. This particular deck as a flip through. I was in love immediately. I love this Coven vibes, man. This is me right here with the snake. Yeah, I kind of have those eyes. So this is, I've also done a flip through on this. I think I've done a flip through on all this row. So if you want to see more of this imagery, again, just look through the flip through. Beavis and Butthead kind of vibes there. This is an oddball, right? This is the odd card of the deck, if you think about it. Compared to what you're looking at, right? Oh, this is awesome. So I could go on and on here, but you get the picture. Now, speaking of this type of aesthetic and artistry here, the next deck up is the Naughty by Nature. And you can find her on the ESTY Sick Sad Girl. She does Mars power, star power, moon power. If you're familiar with those titles. Now, this one, I don't know how I stumbled on into this one. So I do like my sexy decks. Why did this get me to the table to read? Because this is created. The only sexy deck I had like taken seriously is the Manara. Now, you know, there's the Tarot of Sexual Magic and there's like other sex decks, but this one is the wackiest as fuck deck. I gotta find the Five of Pentacles. I hope I run into it flipping it. I'm gonna look for it. That sealed the deal. But yeah, it's, you know, very non-traditional. It's out there. You gotta love that merkin. Let's see what it's supposed to. Let's see here. There she is. All right. She sealed the deal for me. I'm gonna so this is the Five of Pentacles. Check out her shop in the back. I love her crystals and the mask and the herbs. Let's see if I can get this. That's great. And the planchette. You're freaking out of control, ugly toenails. Hey. All right, there you are. So this is really fun. All right, let's see. Excuse the burnt mark on the table. I haven't replaced it, but there's another cloth underneath. So yeah, it's you know, if you've seen her other decks, it's pretty much her art. It's real fun. I think this is a good like bachelorette feels, and like I use these decks when it's party mode, you know, people are having a good time. Oh, she's cute. She's real cute. I love her. That's a nice 8 of P. So yeah, I also did a flip through, and no, it did not get banned. So, and if you do any kind of videos like this, just make sure that you turn on the you have to go into special settings and you just turn on restrictions, and there's things to do there. So mine is always automatically set there, you know, so my videos don't get taken off. I mean, really, this is drawn. This is cartoon, you know, so I can see if it was real, you know, like, no. But there you go. That's the first 5 decks of the Inquiry 5. Let's move on. Okay, Inquiry number 4. These are the decks that I found to be, I'm not challenged with anything much, but this is like, need to pay attention. Now, this one right here, this is One Wild Ride. This is the Tarot del Dios de los Tres. Wild. I think it's the ayahuasca in me that loves these medicine psychedelic decks. I like the fact that it comes with this one card that's just magic to me. So I do read with extra cards, by the way. Like some of them have extra oracles. Some I could use as jokers. I mean, for me as a reader, hey, it's just add it in the deck. So let's tap into this wild imagery here. You'll see what I mean. So I don't think I have a traditional writer. I mean, it's, you know, Rider-Waite based, most of my tarot, but it's not, I've never owned a RWS traditional deck. And that's the truth. Ganesh vibes, hello. Like right there, my heart. Look at the hand here. Where'd my little thingy go? Where'd my little pointer thingy go? Here we are. This in here. Ganesh vibes, all right. Check out the Fool. Wow. I like the bloody mess there. Whoa, that's like real. That's all liquid sky. If you get the reference, okay. Yowza. Looks like the king got a little ripped off in that department. Okay. Ganesh vibes for the Hermit. Followed by the Unicorn. So, oh yeah, this is a really nice Two of Pentacles. So see, it's really a nice, all kinds of philosophies are here represented. I love working with this. This is one wild ride. Shaman cards, there's medicine. As you can see, I don't know if I did a flip through of this one. Kali vibes right here. Very draggy. Which, if you know me as well, I've loved drag for a long time, even before Rue. Oh, there's the bonus card. So see, that's the vibes of this, and I like all the different influences and cultures and things like that represented in this tarot deck here. The next is Christopher Butler's decks. I say decks because this is going to be an honorable mention here. This is the Launerman by the same artist. And again, the artist creates the imagery. I gotta love that. Okay, well, I need to pay attention to this one. And this in particular, he's a gay artist, gay man. Love his decks because of Chris. I got into Lenormand. Now, I've never heard of it. Remember, I was way out of it for a long time. Remember, I just had those 3 decks, remember? So what gets confusing here to me, not that it's, you know, the numbers are great because I love minimal. I really don't like words, numbers, nothing. I like minimal. But if there's like a key here and there, like this, it doesn't get away with the card, especially when I'm reading cards. If you're readers out there, you want to comment on this one? Okay, so these are both wands, you know, but sometimes I think they're swords, but it's the colors that will give it away. Is that when you bring a deck and you read cards, right? I do this for a living, and I do this out of a shop. And she goes, oh yeah, I have a card deck. I read cards. I'm like, okay, great. You haven't been to my table though. So when they do that, I like pulling out decks like that are not traditional like this, that you have to pay attention, that it's not so obvious. So without the title, right? I'm doing this for an example of that. So with them, they're looking at it like this. To me, if I was looking at that upside down, I'd be like, okay, I think there's swords there. So yeah, I need to pay attention to the titles more here. But I'm in love with Chris's. I love Chris's decks. I love his work. He also has a deck called the Healing Light Tarot, which is what the Lenormand deck I first got. And I didn't know there was no Lenormand style until I you know, you get videos on your feed. Love this card. And this is an interesting, like what would be the Empress, because he doesn't look very happy. But you know what? I take it, because you know what? Birthing, yeah, that's no fun going through it. It hurts a lot. But yeah, I get it's just like tarot changes. So I'm really not about words a lot. That's how come I love decks with imagery like this. All right, then when I started to see, go back to the story. This is amazing. So when I saw the Lenormand decks pass, I go, oh. So then, you know, I saw the traditional ones. I go, no wonder. If I would have saw those videos, I would have never, ever been into the Lenormand thing until this man right here that created this deck. This is stunning. So I did do a flip through of this one. And I just needed to I really like take in the imagery when I first got this, and I still do, and I use it because it's a lot. So can you imagine, like, if you're reading, you have all these different images, you're like, wow. So let me show you a little bit about the Lenormand here. I'm a psychedelic head, so I really do like it. But in this, like, if you don't know the Lenormand really, like, well, like, first off, if you see it, you're like, that's the dog card. This is the sun. You know, this is the bear. I know the Lenormand, right? But if you don't know it, you're like, so that would be the castle or the tower and so on. Like, this is what he uses for birds. He uses the owls book, and that's the clouds, the anchor, that's the clovers, the coffin. There's some real wild ones, though. There's the child. Like, that one gets a little wild. But that's the crossroad card. That's the side. I love Chris Butler. So I did the flip through all this. I know a lot of you may relate to this one. Is the Tarot V. I love Los Scarabaeo decks. I love this packing box type packaging too. I'm not a tarot snob. I don't do deck reviews like that. What I care about is this. I have flimsy ass cards, thick, glossy, matte. Don't matter to me. I care about the imagery, the vibe here. This is why I like this one though, because there's minimal. But when they have imagery like this, like for it kind of blends in. You know, when it has the same color scheme. I adore this deck though. Like I said, I'm a horror movie fan. You know, I like the minimal, but I have to really pay attention sometimes to because it's not traditional, right? But the more you use any deck, then you'll get it. Just like how many times do you read a book? How many times, you know, you read that book, you catch more detail. And before you know it, you know, people are making movies out of books and they capture the moments, I guess. But you get my point. Because this one's like, I love using this in Halloween time, fall time, October. Because I like the puzzling look at people when they look at me going, what the hell? How are you getting all that information out of this? But yeah, it's one of those, oh, you gotta love that. Oh, my heart. I'm old school. One of my favorite vamps. Like that's like a vamp I grew up with. You know, I didn't grow up with these ones with glitter that, you know, don't puncture for blood here. That wild foo. But you get the picture here, right? At first, though, when I first got this, I was like, oh, wow. I need a few rounds with this. And then, you know, it's natural to me to read any deck. So, but you get what I mean? Look, it's just, I mean, really, if you really think about it, this is the Four of Wands. Wow, okay. I think of the four wands, but you got to know this is a theme. This is a vibe, right? I do like this Five of Wands, though. I do. And I put this in order for you so you can get what I mean. So I didn't go through the majors. Yeah, let me go through the majors real quick. I know why this is in order too. I was going to do a flip through of this. I don't know if I did or not. But anyways, that's that one. Let's put this one away. You understand as to the vibe. I saved the best for last, in my opinion, out of whoa, the Tarot V really wants to attention. I'm going to look through my flip throughs and see if, I did a video on this. The next one up, oh, let's see. This card wants attention. That's been real popular. I've been getting that message a lot. Oh, by the way, this is the Hermit card. Anyways, this one right here, this one, I got this. This one right here, if it wasn't for the wording on a lot of these, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on, man? You don't know this card deck. It's another wild ride. But you know what? I like it. Works for me. I could read it. It's fine, but there is a vibe. Let's take a look, shall we? I did a flip through of this one. And if I come to the card that did it for me, I was like, okay, now I really got to have this one. But there's a lot going on. Okay, those are okay. But like, this is the Lover's card, and this is such, I know I vibe to this deck. This is like an ayahuasca flashback deck for me. These patterns with the dots like that. That's like, see, that's like a wild devil card. My eyes. Imagine a whole table of all this. Look, already. You're like, whoa. Again, yeah. See what I mean? Who's the? Oh, see now, they did my hangman. Oh, I know it's the hangman. Okay, that's the Knight of Cup. If I didn't, I would have to look like, okay, I see someone on a horse. All right, let's move on. I think this is a nice four sword. Colorful, but you get what I mean. This is everywhere. This is a nice full card. Magician. Yeah, this deck has like, some of these people have like the craziest looking eyes. Okay, here's one of them. All right, here's the Four of Pentacle card. Look at those intense eyes. And even this, I looked this up, by the way. There's writing here, and it really fits with this. I don't want to be a spoiler alert here, but look, if you screenshot this, let me put it this way. I'm like, I wonder what that means. Now look really deep underneath, and you can see where it says spinal cord. This was I was doing a reading and I went, son of a bitch, because I was doing this health reading. This one, hey, spooky. Kukui. All right. Okay, Empress. Okay, she's kind of like androgynous, I kind of like that. Look at the Queen of the Swords. See, I'm telling you, some of these eyeballs on these people, like, she's tranced out, man. She's focused. Beautiful moon card. So you get, oh, here he is. I didn't know where he was in the deck. Dude is tripping. Dude is tripping hardcore. Dude, I don't know what's in that, but dude, hardcore tripping. So anyways, that is the Journey of Enlightenment Tarot. This is a wild death card because there's two. There's two muertas in the little eggy pods there. So it's one wild ride, this deck. But again, a psychedelic head like me, I enjoy it. So on to the next inquiry. Okay, next up are the 3 decks I would recommend to anyone. This one in particular is my taste, but any of the decks by Mr. Manchetti, I recommend. They're bold, they're colorful, easy to read. This was sent to me as a gift through the Amazon Wishlist and the ESTY Registry list. If you're watching, that's how people can earn a reading, not like earn, but receive a reading from me through purchasing and blessing the magic reading table. Sister, if you're watching, thank you so much for gifting this deck to me. The packaging here is just amazing, but the book is in color. And I don't touch the guidebooks much, but this, I leave it the way it was, but beautiful. Also, I know that this man had, the recent one has like this code, and it's like, it's all like AI generated. It's all just out of control. But this is my favorite personal deck from him. Why? Let's move the box out of here. Let's move the box here. Let me pause the video. Okay, that's why I keep this in the bag. And the box is huge. I love this deck because the numbering isn't in my face. It's some of it's very discreet. And you see how it's not really that bold? It's more imagery. I like the people, that the way they look in this, all the suits. There's some celebrity spotlights. Let's see if I can find. This is an incredibly easy deck to work with. It's very bendy. But he's very Renaissance-y, stunning high priestess. I mean, I love her. Okay. There's this boss dude. I just like I love the imagery, right? But it's bold. I call this like the AKA Dorothy in Oz, because this man also does a sepia version, which I also have. Don't like the packaging on this one, but where did she go? I thought of it because there she is. So see the contrast. But this deck in particular, I call this one Dorothy in Dorothy in the Tornado, and then the Dorothy in Kansas, Dorothy in Oz. This is very, very like really bright, vivid. I mean, look at the color on this. So that's the sepia. But what the sepia version does is that it's very romantic, and the imagery is very soft. It's very, I like it. But as a professional card reader, everybody seems, the readings that I give on the table, well, they like the colored deck. So let's see if I can find Oprah's in here. Robert De Niro as the Pope is in here. See what I mean? There's even a print error. Thanks, Llewellyn. If that shows up, I'll show you. If you have this deck, let me know. But see, it's just numbers. Yeah, I know who these are. I know this is definitely the 8 of Cups, but it's helpful because this isn't like an obvious 6 pentacle. But, you know, you get my meaning. It's hidden with the imagery. So I really love that they did that for me. Because if it was up to me, if the card was without the number like this, okay, I know that's the 5 of Pentacle. I get it. I don't need anything. But, you know, I get it. I didn't create the deck, but still, this is why I like it. And I recommend it. Because get to have the relationship within the card. It's not about this, or let's see, the page or whatever, but look. Does she look like a queen or a king to you? No, you know, have a relationship with the card. Let it talk to you. Let's see if I can. This is an interesting Fool card too. See if I can find Oprah in a minute. There's a Fool on the forehead. He's the Fool, holding the Fool, and then the Fool's going through the journey. Interesting. That's a really heavy Fool card, by the way, to me when I get it in readings. But look at how beautiful. If you like this kind of romantic, kind of Renaissance fantasy, you know, that's like Viking, you know. But look at this very fam vibes here. Look at the dog and the cats there. So I love Ciro Manchetti's work, though. This right here. I love this devil card. She's fucking wicked. With the apple and shit. Ooh, creepy. I love it. One of my favorite devil cards in all the decks. Where's the Temperance Angel? Love her vibes. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. That reminds me of the Tom Petty video. Oh, there's Robert. There's Bob as the Pope. Get out. Gangster. Where's Oprah? I gotta show you Oprah, and then I'll go to the next deck. But see what I mean? I love his romantic, very warm. There's like Joe Pesci vibes. That's totally Game of Thrones. He reminds me of the Hound. See what I mean? So, oh, she's adorable. There's Oprah right there. Yay, abundance for everybody. So that's the Marchetti Mystic Palette deck. The other next recommend for tarot is the Calandra Tarot right here. It's very soft. It's not harsh. Good for beginners. Very storytelling kind of, you know, deck, you know, RWS type deal. Thank you. This was also a beautiful gift from someone I love very much. I usually do a flip through of decks that I buy or purchase or want on my lists, you know, wish lists and everything. But this one, I don't know. I thought that would be good to have it, and I vibe with it because of her. If I put on a wig, like a white wig like that, and I woke up in the morning, yeah, that's what I look like. With the horns invisible. But see how soft it is for judgment, you know. I mean, Three of Swords isn't that crazy with blood or anything like that. I like the Thief card here. So see what I mean? It's very like, it's not fey, but it's, you know, nice, and this is why I like it. Surprise! So they have 2 extra cards, and one is as above, and then the other one's so below. If I run into it, I'll run into it, but I'll show it to you if we don't. I'll like, so you see the imagery. Look, there's the Stephen Piercy of Rat. Heck yeah, round and round. I love this moon card. So you see, it's just very like fantasy-ish. She's got a, I don't know why she has this resting bitch face, dude. This high priestess must know some shit, because man, look at that expression. So what I mean, see what I mean? Like, you could really take off with the details when you have a relationship with cards and that rapport with people on your table or people you're doing reading for. There it is. So here's the so below. It's a pretty interesting thing. I had no idea these 2 cards were in there. So I go, oh, I know why I vibe to this one. But you see what I mean? It's pretty like, you know, it's friendly enough. You know, it's I would think this is a nice learning deck. I wouldn't have mind if this is I think back then when I first saw a card, I would have thought this deck would have totally blown me away, because this was like the 80s that I first saw tarot. And here she is, the cover of the deck. So that is the Calandra Tarot. which I do recommend. Very easy. Comes with the little teeny weeny guidebook, but you know, it's what it is. I think this is the first oracle deck, right? I have not mentioned any oracle decks. But you're talking decks that I would recommend to anyone. Now, sometimes I'm the type of reader that I will do a reading for minors. But of course, that has to be like okay with an adult, you know, like their mom. What usually happens is the cool aunt or uncle, you know what I mean, that come into the shop. Is it okay? I go, sure. So when that happens, a deck like this is good. I got to know, you know, I have to call it. I'm intelligent and professional as a reader. So I remember one time, I don't know where the devil is in here. Let me pause. Let me find the devil. Okay, so here's the devil card. You know, it's pretty traditional in the tarot. I'm like, oh yeah, that one's in here. Okay, that one showed up. Oh, right. And she was Christian, young girl, and I had to tell her, oh, no. See, this devil is of this tarot deck. He's a little different from Satan and the devil, you know, in your Bible. Which Bible do you have? Okay. And she told me her Bible. I go, oh yeah, no. That's not this one. What this is about, and I explained to her that it's more like you're not telling the truth. Did you do something that, you know, was kind of like not good? Like, you know, you should have, you know, that wasn't truthful, that you weren't honest? And she said, and she started crying. I was like, oh my God, she's crying. And she's like, and she got a tissue from my tissue box, and she says, yeah, I took a video without someone's permission and I got in trouble by it. I said, see, that's the devil vibes. That's the devil energies. There's nothing wrong, but you see, can you see that the people are not happy? And you know, so, you know, you can turn it around. Just be a professional, right? All right, getting back to this deck, why I mention it, because there's one card in particular I went, oh, why I mention it for anyone. Okay. That's of, I would say, of 18 years and up, like of, you know, age, even a teen even. A teen can handle this. We grow up quick now these days, right? Everything's sex is in everybody's face. Everything's out there. But if you look at this imagery, it's just one word. There's the book actually is the book in here is in color. So I really love the oracle, like the books that are in color. Those are really nice. And especially if I'm recommending, because this is very straightforward life stuff, life path stuff. This is one of my favorites. Look, this dude has dosed. That's me with ayahuasca right there. And she is very rainbow, and she is fierce, and she's quite the ride. I adore my Aya. See what I mean? So you can see that, you know, a child could vibe with this. A minor can vibe with this, you know. Oh, she got this card, by the way. Where's the one that I'm talking about? Because so this one's neat. Let me see if there it is. I see it. Oh, it's on the bottom. All right. So the girl's there, and I go, and the parents came perfect timing. I said, would you like to see your daughter's reading? And then I said, see, this is the love that they have for you. You know, that's beautiful. Do you see your mom hug and kiss sometimes? Oh, great. That's what it is. You have beautiful parents. Okay, what I mean? But other than that, you know, I could have pulled that card out. But you know what? I'm honest, man. I'm straightforward. You know what? Minors have a lot to say. They're smart. They're just lack experience, perhaps, and languaging or particular vocabulary. Oh, I didn't. Let's go back here for a minute to the what I recommend. Also, what I do recommend, if Tarot is not so intense for people. Speaking of that, I wanted to share honorable mention here again with the Marchette. This particular one, this particular Lenormand, that's the Marchetti, because there's no words. That's why I like it. But the imagery is nice. It's very romantic. Look, this dude's way back, no shoes. But I also recommend this if they don't want to learn 78 cards. This has extra because this is not traditional, but I do like the extras that he adds. That's one of them. You know, I really like the well. But, you know, it's very his style of art, sexy. I just wanted to share that with you real quick. He has 2 sets of birds in here, 2 sets of guys. So here's the sexy hot one right here. And there's 2 women cards. I love the love card and, you know, the the heart. There's the 2 women. Oh, that's right. I just did this deck for a couple deck and all woo! And the snake. Not my favorite card in this deck. And the other decks, if any serpents in any other deck, great. This one, ooh, gossip. All right, so you get the picture. This is what I would recommend from my collection, that is. Most of it's pretty adult. But those are pretty straight. These are very easy decks to learn. The 2 decks. Oh, that were made for me. Mr. Marchetti again. He came out with an oracle deck. Now it's pretty even, the oracle tarot ratio. Lenormand is about 10%. And then there's a few novelty decks and other decks that are neither. They're their own entity for sure. This right here, it does come with a guidebook because the cards are numbered. But I don't look at the guidebook. I know it's not colored or anything fancy. Why I adore this and it's made for me is because there's no meanings, no words, there's numbers. And sometimes numbers for me are okay because there's certain numerologies that can get really interesting on my table. So I don't mind numbers so much. You know, this is border. I don't really like borders either, but it's very simple. Why I like this in particular, if you zoom in on the floor, if you're a fan of this man's other decks, he always puts other tarot decks in his imagery that are from other decks. So this is what's it adds to, if you know these imageries right here, will add to more of the card. See, let's see if I get more examples here. I just like plain imagery. I really do. I love his style of art. Again, it's really romantic. It's bright. It's vibrant. Very fantasy. Sometimes, it's very Renaissance, Viking sometimes. I mean, you can get a lot out of... There's the David Bowie card. So see how, let's see if I can find another example of when he uses other imagery in his, like this. These are people right here. Let's see now, let me give you a different example. Because he does this in his tarot decks as well. Oops, excuse me, just the camera here. This is classic. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you zoom in on the artwork that's framed there, those are cards that he has in his tarot decks. I know this one up here in the corner, that's a strength card. That's a strength card. So maybe perhaps, oh yeah, this is a strength card. So this imagery in the background has 3 sets of strength cards that were in his previous decks, like his decks that are out. And if you can see this, well, yeah, that matches what's going on. So you have to use your intuition with this. I don't ever use decks like this just by itself. Not this. The only exception's Deborah's work, but this one, no. I always like put it in. I work it in with tarot, like as an extra card or two, or I sometimes have people. Would you like to, choose a card? Oh, the little baby, and the baby cute. I just want to squeeze it. See, here's another one. She's another tarot card right here. And in fact, in the reels here, I looked really close with my magnifying glass app. These are also imagery of people in his cards, which this is what this card is like reflecting, like a projector in the movie. So, it's not hard to figure out. You can make your own meanings with whatever you want to do. Oh, I love her. So that's the point of this, why I adore it, obviously. Okay, I don't know if I did a flip through of this one, but this is available. It's really nice, though. It's that buttery feel to it. It's matte, semi-gloss. It's not matte. All right, on to the next. Oh, now this right here. Now talk about a deck that I really feel a lot of endearment towards. Not only did this particular woman and her art and her passion really reignite my reading practice and my profession, but this one right here has gifted me when I do mediumship readings. What a lot of people may not know about me is I'm a professional gazer as well, channeler. This deck right here is nothing but faces. She has an amazing video on her channel here. Again, her name is Deborah Koff-Chapin. This is the ultimate deck made for me. I have been into the art of gazing. That's how I've learned tarot, by the way, and have an amazing relationship with each deck that I use through the art of gazing. And putting myself in a particular state. Look at how stunning these images are. She created this just with touch drawing, which means that it was just by her hands, no tools, just her hands. And I like that the color palette is very subtle. It's very vibey. It's very peaceful. Here's the cover of the box. Here's a nice little Ailey. There's different vibes here. The way she created this deck is amazing. She's a world traveler. I mean, she's done sits in all over the world in rituals. And while they were having particular rituals, she created imagery. And this is just, I'm always blown away. That one's interesting, by the way, by this particular deck. The Portals of Presence is just that. Which portals or dimensions will they take you through when you use this deck? I love that one. That one in particular gives me Creature of the Black Lagoon vibes. So that's the Portals of Presence again. She's here on YouTube. I'm going to put her link, by the way, because I always support artists. If I have their, I'll go through my video here and put as much information as I can, because people find decks. I would love, I'm sharing this with everybody, right? I'd love you have to have all of these decks in your collection if it vibe with you. But it's always good to see all these different things that are available, now that they're out there. All right, so Portals of Presence. And one more thing about this deck. I get amazing answers through how I use this deck. I do a class on gazing, so get in touch with me if you're interested in that. But this one right here, excellent for that. Okay, time for the one deck I am talking the most about these days. Let me give you a little ASMR on this one. Yes, it's the Tarojuana. Now, I mentioned earlier, I've never had an WRS deck. Never appealed to me the right away, although that's the first deck I ever saw. But I don't really own one. And I just happened to be on Kickstarter, just checking on things, I just happened to randomly be there and I spotted this golden nugget. It does come with a pouch like this. It's a nice idea, a nice little green bag. It has the two matches. Brief little booklet here, and I did get the magical 13 out of 50. And this deck is available on the website. Currently, I can leave that for you for us 420 labas. All right. Check out some of the images. Oh, she's here. I mean, I don't have any idea what order they're in. Now, why I like this is, okay, it's pretty much traditional-ish, Rider Waite, right? And there's nugs, bongs, matches, smoke. It's 420 style. Is the artwork's kind of retro-y, kind of like Scooby-Doo, color book-ish. She's my favorite queen in the deck. Let me scope in on her. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, I love the pants. I like the big giant nug in the jar. There's the Ace of Wands. Let's see if yeah, the Grow, aka the Tower. Yeah, that's a good version of the Tower. oh wait a minute. See, they're very kind of slippy and glossy. They're very good quality. They're really, this is a very nice feeling type quality deck. Oh dude, that was me like when I used to crossfade with alcohol. Yeah, relate. This is the Devil card. Wow, this is a very you see the people up here. So she didn't create the artwork. The idea and concept's hers. I like the the hangman. Bongs or cups. Here's the king of the nugs. Very cute, very groovy. Yeah, so those are the Eight of the Wands, the fire. Oh, again. That one looks like the edible is just about to hit. That one has no idea it's going to hit. Yes, due to smoke. Okay, so the dudes in the deck are, there's my finger, excuse me. The dudes in the deck are, the smoke is, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. The dudes in the decks are the knights, and the smoke is the sword. Nice. Of course, there's an alien in here. Oh, look at the temperance angel with the two bongs. I love her. Really sweet vibes. Even judgment is chill. Magician. Yeah, she has merch I know she has t-shirts. This is an ultimate card. I think out of all the cards, everybody loves this one. All the stoners love that one. Oh, they say that this is me and the yoga mat, that's for sure. Very much me on the yoga mat every morning. That's me. Cute. Love her dress, right? Cute dress. It's very draggy, very androgynous. And look at the pups all, hey man, how about me? Hey, how about me? Oh, look at she's so cute. See what I mean? It's kind of like Thelma vibes without her glasses. I love her skirt. It's very retro. She would be the Queen of the Cups. Oh man, the OG fucking marijuana birthday cake. If you've never had a whole marijuana birthday cake, I used to make these before edibles and legalization was an issue. I'm old school, right? In fact, the first time, I don't remember the first time I ever smoked weed, honestly. I know, but I remember the first time I ate an edible, though. That was my own 2 chocolate chocolate cupcakes. Check out the grand opening. That's the 3 of the cups. So I adore this deck. If you have stoners in your life, you want a novelty. This is not mass market, by the way. It's supporting a small business. She's good people. I've actually, I talked to her in the DM of Instagram. She took her time out to have a chit chat with me, All right. I also did a live on Instagram, flip through. This is on my flip through list if you want to see the rest. So amen for this deck. It's so much fun. It reads spot on. I love using this. It adds a little bit of, it uplifts seriousness, There she is. Whoa, that is like the 5 of Cups right there. Yeah, relate. I could go on and on. So there you have it. Thank you again, Marnie, at the Waves of Your Soul for this really fun hashtag and sharing some of, my selections. Hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm sure I'm actually creating a hashtag of my own I'll share with you soon enough. But thank you again. This was really fun. Let me know what your favorite section was. Salud. Much love. Hope you love the ASMR love.